A contemporary perspective in psychology refers to the approaches, theories, and research currently used to understand human behavior and mental processes. This perspective emerged as a result of developments in the field of psychology over time and incorporates understanding from previous perspectives. From a contemporary perspective, psychology is considered a science that seeks to understand human complexities, including emotions, thoughts, and behavior, using various scientific methods. Some important contemporary perspectives in psychology include 1. Neuroscience perspective. This perspective focuses on the relationship between behavior and the human nervous system. Research in this perspective integrates understanding of brain structure and function with human behavior and mental processes. Brain scans and genetic research are used to understand how interactions between biological and environmental factors affect behavior and cognitive processes. In general, there are several fields of study related to the perspective of neuroscience in psychology, such as neurobiology, neuropsychology, and neurosurgery. The following are some of the key concepts and understandings associated with a neuroscientific perspective in psychology. 1. Structure and function of the brain. A neuroscience perspective focuses on understanding the structure and function of the brain and how they are interrelated. Research on neuroanatomy studies the parts of the brain and neural networks that play a role in controlling behavior and cognitive function. 2. Central Nervous System (CNS). A neuroscience perspective emphasizes the study of the CNS, including the brain, spinal cord, and spinal cord. This study aims to understand the role of each CNS component in generating and regulating human behavior. 3. Brain plasticity. The neuroscience perspective emphasizes the concept of brain plasticity, which refers to the brain's ability to change structure and function in response to experience and learning. This process provides a neurobiological basis for behavioral changes and adaptations in life. 4. Neuronal connections. A neuroscience perspective studies the way neurons communicate with each other through synapses, which involve the release and reception of chemicals called neurotransmitters. This research helps explain how information processing in the brain affects behavior and thinking. 5. Neurotransmitters and mental disorders. The neuroscience perspective also studies the relationship between disorders or dysfunction of the nervous system and mental disorders. Researchers use a variety of techniques, such as neuroimaging, to look for links between neurochemical changes and disorders such as depression, schizophrenia, and anxiety disorders. 6. Neuroimaging. The study of neuroimaging includes the use of techniques such as computed tomography (CT), functional magnetic resonance (fMRI), and electroencephalography (EEG) to directly examine brain structure, activity, and function. This technique helps researchers view and map brain activity associated with mental processes and human behavior. A neuroscientific perspective in psychology helps broaden our understanding of the biological basis of human behavior. Through this research and understanding, we can identify the neurological factors that influence the formation of personality, mindset, and human mental state. However, it is important to remember that neuroscience is only one of many existing perspectives in psychology, and integration with other perspectives such as psychodynamic, cognitive, or social is essential for a comprehensive understanding of human beings. 2. Cognitive perspective. This perspective emphasizes the importance of information processing, perception, thinking, and memory in shaping human behavior. Research in this perspective focuses on how humans perceive, process, and use information from their environment and how this influences their behavior. Some of the main concepts from the cognitive perspective include 1. Schemas. Schemas refer to the cognitive structures that individuals use to organize their knowledge and experiences. Schemas help people understand and process new information. 2. Cognitive processes. Cognitive processes include attention, information processing, decision-making, memory, and language. These cognitive processes assist individuals in processing information and forming their understanding of the world. 3. Cognitive behavior. The cognitive perspective assumes that behavior is the result of complex thought processes and judgments. The way individuals perceive, interpret, and process information will influence their behavior. 4. Cognitive change. According to the cognitive perspective, changes in an individual's thinking and knowledge can occur through the formation of new schemas, restructuring of existing schemas, or through new learning processes. The cognitive perspective in psychology has made a significant contribution to our understanding of how humans process information, make decisions, learn, and remember information. Cognitive models developed from this perspective have been used in various fields, such as clinical psychology, education, and cognitive science. 3. Psychodynamic perspective. This perspective refers to the theories developed by Sigmund Freud and his followers. This perspective emphasizes the role of the unconscious, psychodynamic drives, and the influence of experiences in shaping human personality and behavior. Concepts such as ego, id, and superego, as well as concepts such as self-defense and internal conflict are very important in this perspective. Id, the unconscious part of the mind that contains primitive drives and basic instincts to satisfy desires in an instant and uncontrollable way. Ego, the conscious part of the mind which acts as a mediation between the id and external reality. The ego functions to satisfy the id's drives in a socially acceptable and realistic way. Superego, the part of the mind that internalizes the values and social norms learned from the environment. The superego provides the moral and idealistic rules that guide human behavior. The psychodynamic perspective also emphasizes the importance of conflict in one's psychological development. This conflict can occur between conflicting impulses within a person or between individuals and their social environment. This conflict can produce psychological defenses such as unconscious reactions, defense mechanisms, and patterns of behavior that may not be clearly recognized by the individual. In psychotherapy, a psychodynamic approach is used to understand and deal with conflicts and underlying psychological problems. Psychodynamic therapy involves exploring experiences, interpersonal relationships, and awareness of unconscious aspects that influence a person's behavior and feelings. Although the psychodynamic perspective has been criticized for being too focused on the unconscious and lacking an overly subjective approach, the concepts and frameworks developed within psychodynamics still provide a deep understanding of human motivation and psychological dynamics. 4. Behavioral perspective, known as the behaviorist approach. This approach emphasizes observation and analysis of human behavior that can be observed directly, while ignoring mental factors and internal mental processes. According to this perspective, behavior is considered as a result of learning and is influenced by external environmental conditions. Behaviorists focus attention on how external stimuli affect the responses or responses shown by individuals. Some well-known figures in this behavioral perspective include Ivan Pavlov, John B. Watson, and B. F. Skinner. Pavlov developed the theory of classical conditioning, which involves forming a relationship between a neutral stimulus and an existing stimulus so that the neutral stimulus triggers a response. Watson expands this concept by suggesting that human behavior as a whole can be explained through the stimulus given to the individual, without the need to include aspects of the mind or inner experience. Skinner developed the theory of operant conditioning, which emphasizes the relationship between behavior and its consequences. He argues that behavior that is rewarded or punished will tend to be repeated or avoided. The behavioral perspective in psychology has made significant contributions to the fields of education, behavior therapy, and behavior analysis. However, criticism is also made that this approach pays little attention to the importance of cognitive processes and motivation in human behavior. 5. Social perspective. This perspective studies how individuals are influenced by social factors, including social norms, culture, and social interactions. Research in this perspective seeks to understand how humans influence and are influenced by others in social contexts. Some of the main concepts from the social perspective include: 1. Social behavior. Study how individuals behave in certain social situations. Factors such as social norms, social roles, and social pressures influence how humans behave. 2. Social assessment. Studying how individuals form impressions and judgments on others. This involves perceptions of personality, race, gender, and various other social attributes. 3. Social cognitive theory. Focuses on how individuals learn through observing others and modeling behavior. Concepts such as imitation, identification, and social learning play an important role in this theory. 4. Social influence. Studying how the presence of other people directly or indirectly influences individual attitudes, beliefs, and behavior. Concepts such as conformity, complaint, authority, and social pressure are included in this study. 5. Prejudice and discrimination. studying the origins, forms and consequences of prejudice and discrimination in a social context. This study attempts to understand why prejudice and discrimination occur and how to reduce them. The social perspective in psychology helps in understanding the complexities of social interaction and the relationship of individuals with the surrounding society and culture. Research in this field also contributes to solving social problems and developing effective intervention strategies. 6. Developmental perspective. This perspective focuses on changes in behavior, thoughts, and mental processes throughout the human life cycle. Developmental stages, as proposed by Jean Piaget, and factors such as bonding and parenting theory are important in understanding human development. There are several main perspectives in the assessment of development, including 1. Biological development perspective. Focuses on the role of biological factors in human development processes, such as physical growth, brain development, and hormonal changes. This approach emphasizes the importance of genetic, neurological, and biological maturation factors in shaping individual development. 2. Cognitive development perspective. Focuses on the development of cognitive aspects, such as understanding, thought, and thought processes. The well-known theory of cognitive development is Piaget's theory, which describes the stages of intellectual development of children. 3. Psychosocial developmental perspective. Proposed by Erik Erikson, this approach involves the interaction between psychological and social aspects of development. This theory identifies a series of psychosocial conflicts that arise throughout life and how individuals resolve these conflicts can affect their development. 4. Social development perspective. Emphasizes the role of social experience and interaction with the environment in human development. This approach understands how social relations, norms, culture, and social institutions contribute to the formation of individual personality and behavior. 5. Moral development perspective. Focuses on the development of individual values and morals. This approach examines how internal value systems develop, how individuals understand ethics and morality, and how they make moral decisions. Each of these perspectives offers a different understanding of human development, and there is often overlap between the perspectives. A comprehensive approach to understanding development involves the integration of these various perspectives. Those are some contemporary perspectives in psychology. It is important to remember that psychology as a field of science is constantly evolving, and new perspectives may emerge in the future as understanding and technology change. Please click like if you found this video helpful, and click subscribe if you'd like to receive more interesting educational videos. Thank you.